And that's Vadgam MLA, Jignesh Mevani in Chennai, Marina Beach. So, Jignesh, very first question. Second time you're visiting Chennai, now you're an MLA. And what are your takeaways so far from what you've learned from Chennai? How do you see Chennai politically and socio-economically?
You know, lots of energy in the people, and they are so, they love dance. Yesterday I also danced with P. Ranjit's elder brother and some of the people. So, finding Chennai very interesting, and also loving the Marina Beach and the people who, with whom I have come in touch with so far. So, hopefully my relationship with Tamil Nadu will grow.
What, you said that you had a deal in your father.
That was, actually I went to his village and I forgot the name of his native place. He was there near the Pongal. So I went and straight away told him that I'm ready to give you the commitment that all my life I will work for the downtrodden masses and for the poor people of this country, provided you are ready to give me the commitment that I'm doing a cameo in your next movie.
And did he agree?
He has agreed. So, and it started on a very lighter note, it can become serious stuff as well. So maybe I could be there. But more than that, I found him very, very sincere person, very lovely, very modest, very humble, very grounded, willing to do something through his arts, through the cinema for the Dalit community and for the poor in general. And he proposed me to launch a party. He proposed me to do every bit I can do for the society. So it was very exciting meeting me. It was exciting meeting the people from the village as well. So that was a good experience.
Are you launching a party?
No, I'm not launching a party. It was his suggestion that in future, who knows? Let us see. I'm not desperate for launching a political party, or I'm not greatly ambitious about the electoral politics. I'm primarily a man of people's movement. But it's good that I've been able to crack it, and we believe that more people from the activist background should be contesting from the various assemblies and parliament, and they should make the noise and voice there also. It also at times strengthens the people's movement also. So, yeah.
So yesterday or so, there was a small protest by a Dalit group saying that you'd made provocative speeches, particularly about Naxalism, about issues like that. And what is happening is, I noticed there's a fragmentation within the Dalit community everywhere. How do you see it affecting your politics as well?
Dalit movement is fragmented everywhere. In fact, in Gujarat, things are getting properly shaped now. The people are coming together. Fragmentation is everywhere. In the case of Gujarat, it is a positive dimension that things are improving. And with my victory, the kind of people, the way people came together from the various Ambedkarite movements, it's been fantastic. Things are actually improving when it comes to Gujarat. And as far as me is concerned, one good thing that is happening with me is wherever I go, I get great reception. People see me as a uniting force. So hopefully in coming days, in coming years, the fragmented Dalit movement will be consolidated and take some proper shape.
Now, you guys are, you and people like you, Chandrasekhar Azad, to an extent, and also Anandjit in a different sphere, the cultural sphere. You guys are like the new age Ambedkarites, right? You're not talking like Mayawati or Tirumavalavan here, who's the Dalit leader. You're not talking like these guys. You are speaking the language of the people. Right? You're speaking in their language in a way that they can understand.
Really?
That's what I'm hearing. You became an MLA on that. But the point is, what needs to be done to consolidate Dalits in order that they have a strong enough voice?
A continuous, relentless day-night effort. If you keep struggling honestly with all the spirit, all the energy, all the commitment, all the honesty, day and night, then definitely something will come out.
When people have पेट में कुछ नहीं है, there is no food to eat, how do you expect people to get into struggle?
The ones who have food in the stomach, they have also fought in this country, and the ones who are not having, they also have. So it's not any yardstick or guideline to...
No, I'm saying, will they come to fight?
Yeah, they are coming. Dalits are malnourished, they are landless, they are struggling for survival. Still, they are coming on the streets every day. In Gujarat, outside Gujarat, in UP, we have whatever you see. So, and the way the attack on Dalit and Muslims have increased in the last 4 years after Modi coming to power and becoming PM, the way Hindutva forces have gone brazen and berserk. there is also a strong fight that is coming by the Dalit community, not just by Dalits, but Dalits, Muslims, all the progressive people. So, and the Ramnath Kovind card, I say this in almost hundreds of interviews, the Ramnath Kovind card will be split because of the Unnao movement, because of the BMRB's rise, because of the struggle that we witnessed during the after the Rohit Vemula's institutional murder. So all this Dalit youth coming up, even the case of Bhima Koregaon. So there is a great potential that Dalit youth is showing.
And why do you think it's happening now?
There is a great rise in the consciousness. Youth is always youth. It's always inclined to do something fresh, something new, something innovative, something creative. So the same goes for the grammar of the movement as well. So Chandrasekhar has come up on the scene. I am there on the scene. Many youngsters are coming up. I keep meeting people from Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, Kerala, Karnataka, wherever I go. So even person like T. Ranjit and other people. So as the day progresses, people keep emerging on the political scene. Tomorrow some better genius will come, tomorrow some better Bhim armies, Chandrasekhar will come. So it's a good positive sign, and I have great hopes on the Dalit movement now.
Are you planning to bring together a group of, a network of sorts, of people like yourself across the country?
Absolutely. Particularly in southern part of India, where I will be visiting more, particularly Kerala and Karnataka. So, and also in Tamil Nadu, we will make an attempt, and Maharashtra also. So it's good that people are, looking forward to Bhim Army, Chandrasekhar Azad. This reception, this acceptance, we should be using, and we will be using to bring the forces together and bond and launch a formidable alliance. There shouldn't just be limited just to Dalit Code, just Dalit group. Let all the progressive people come together, let all the youth leaders come together. So I also have a plan to launch a youth platform where we bring all the variety of youth movements together, with the likes of Shaila Kanhaiya, Chandrasekhar Azad, Mohit Pandey of JNU, many of the people, Nadeem Bhai, Kasai. So hopefully,
Alright, now to stick to Tamil Nadu, we have witnessed, in a sense, the Dravidian movement, which is the social justice movement that began very early on in Tamil Nadu. That has sort of failed the Dalits, and in a sense they are fragmented, and there are specific issues as far as Dalits are concerned, despite Dalits here being much better off in terms of education, both school and tertiary education. They are better off than but there are specific issues. How do you think Tamil Nadu's Dalits can be brought together?
I haven't studied the success or the failure of the Dravidian movement, so I'm not the right person to talk about it. This is not to sound politically correct. I haven't actually. I can make a comment later on. But the only thing that I would say to the Dalit movement of Tamil Nadu is that we could have ideological problems, ideological disputes and differences. We are living in a time where the spirit of Indian Constitution of creating a secular socialist democracy is at stake. Constitution is being distorted, and the same being explained by the apex court judges. One can imagine what must be their sophistication. And they like activists coming out publicly and say the democracy is at threat, there is destruction of democracy is at work. It's so shocking, painful. In this situation and scenario, your disputes and ideological differences don't matter at all. You must get out of this nonsensical pettiness. Right? We need to grow up and mature. And let there be variety of issues. We agree to disagree on many things. There could be problems, disputes, differences. Still we come together and launch an attack against these fascist forces. Otherwise we all will be right now. The kind of forces you have taken over the state, there are mighty people with mighty power because they are fascists and their corporate lobby is there. They have a huge cadre of RSS, which is very, very feudal and medieval and casteist and communal and whatnot. So they can go to any extent. They will kill nobody like me, who was like my mother. They will kill journalists for me. They will kill Abulkari, Pansare, Kalpuri, Nazib. We don't have a clue where Nazib is. We don't know whether he is alive or not. What happened with Rohit Vemula? He is compelled to commit suicide. Bhim Army Chandrasekhar Azad in jail. I am an elected representative. Still, I am fearing for my life. Those kind of calls I will be receiving. There are frivolous charges against me. So in this situation, it is only appeal I can make to the people of Tamil Nadu, to the Dalit community of Tamil Nadu, to the American and left groups that we must come together and bring out the points where we lack, rather than the points where we. The nation doesn't want to know this tonight. The nation wants to know where is the fish and prawns in the Marina Beach. That is the million-rupee question.
You were also telling me something about how you were in your college days. Did you think you would get here, you would get to UNA, you would get into politics, and then you would get into...
When I became full-time activist, it was like I am a very latecomer in that sense. If you see the activists who are engaged in the students' movement in college campuses, like 19, 20, 21, 20. I was very late. I became full-time activist at the age of 20, 29. So it's still good late a lot. And when UNA happened, by the time I had a lot of experience of people's movement, and I knew where to save, I knew how to dedicate, I knew what language to use, I knew how to, what articulation I should come up with. Yeah, hopefully, things have clicked in my favor so far. It's wonderful that I've been able to crack it in a theory as well. That will definitely give a push to my struggle in the streets.
What made you get into activism? What was that one point?
Between 2004 to 2007, I was doing journalism, and during those 3 years, I was also doing research on a great Gujarati poet called Maris, a mighty poet with sublime poetry. So this great stuff, great literature. So discovering his life was a sublime joy for me. Nothing was greater than that. No, I was like madly doing research on this, passionate and very, very intense doing this research. Then when the research got over, I lost the pick of my life. Then I decided to be plunging into some grassroots activism, grassroots politics, and should do something to change the life of the common people, the toiling masses. That is why I decided to become a full-time activist. So following the calling of my heart, I quit journalism in 19 Gujarat and started working with Jan Sanghas, which is a non-civil rights organization in Gujarat, and started working for the industry for the victims of riots and all.
Fabulous. Alright, so we hope to see you in Chennai more often.
Yeah, I'll keep coming to Marina and have
And we'll get your fish and prawns. We shall become. That's a promise from our side. And you have to become the next Kamal hero.
Let us see. Amin as we call it. Kiranjit, you're the answer there.
Alright, thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Lovely.